dried herbs. Deity asked Jide to join him in a ritual. He said it was a blessing for the music. Jide said, "I thought it was just one of those artistic things, so I went along with it. But it wasn't artistic. It was something darker." Deity chanted words Jide didn't understand and poured a red liquid onto a small idol.
You're now watching Moonlight African Folktales. Subscribe for more.
The streets were buzzing. Everywhere you went, someone had his music playing. It didn't matter whether you were at the market, in a taxi, or walking past the shop. His songs were everywhere. His name was Deity Strings, the biggest producer and musician anyone had ever seen. People called him a genius. His beats were addictive, his lyrics unforgettable, and his rise to fame was nothing short of magic. Everyone wanted to be like him. Other musicians envied him. Fans worshipped him. Nobody could explain why every single song he released became a hit, but nobody questioned it either. To most people, Deity was just too good to be true. But not everyone was convinced. A man named Femi started to notice something strange. He wasn't a musician or a journalist. He was just an ordinary man with a sharp mind and an unusual curiosity. While everyone else was dancing to Deity songs, Femi was thinking about something deeper. He first noticed it when Deity's latest track came out. The moment the song dropped, people were glued to it. They couldn't stop listening. Some even skipped work to play it on repeat. Femi's neighbor, Momateyo, who barely knew how to use her phone, suddenly became obsessed with playing the song on her old radio. And it wasn't just her. It was everyone. It didn't feel normal. One night, as the music blasted from every corner of the neighborhood, Femi sat in his room, staring at the ceiling. He asked himself a question he couldn't shake: why? Why does everyone react this way to Deity songs? He had no proof, but something didn't feel right. Femi started asking around. He went to a local record store and spoke to the owner, an elderly man named Baba Jide, who had been selling music for decades. Baba Jide laughed when Femi mentioned Deity. "That one," he said, shaking his head. "He's not like the others. There's something different about him." Femi pressed further, but Baba Jide wouldn't say more. "If you value your peace, my son, let it go," the old man muttered. That only made Femi more curious. He decided to dig deeper. Femi spent hours online, reading about Deity's rise to fame. A few years ago, nobody knew his name. Then, out of nowhere, he dropped a song that went viral overnight. The pattern was the same with every release. People couldn't stop talking about it, couldn't stop playing it, couldn't stop dancing. One article mentioned something odd. A struggling artist who once worked with Deity claimed his life was ruined after their collaboration. The article didn't go into detail, but Femi tracked down the artist on social media. His name was Jide, and his posts were filled with cryptic messages about selling souls and dancing with the devil. Femi reached out to Jide, who refused to talk at first. But after some persuasion, Jide agreed to meet him at a secluded bar outside town. The man who showed up looked nothing like the vibrant musician Femi had seen in old photos. He was thin, tired, and jittery, like someone carrying a heavy burden. Jide's voice trembled as he spoke. He told Femi about a night he would never forget. "Deity invited me to his place," Jide began. "He said he wanted to show me how he makes his music. I thought it was my big break." Deity's studio was unlike anything Jide had ever seen. It was filled with expensive equipment, but what stood out were the strange items scattered around: animal skulls, candles, and what looked like dried herbs. Deity asked Jide to join him in a ritual. He said it was a blessing for the music. Jide said, "I thought it was just one of those artistic things, so I went along with it. But it wasn't artistic. It was something darker." Deity chanted words Jide didn't understand and poured a red liquid onto a small idol. He made Jide swear an oath, promising never to reveal what he saw. Jide thought it was harmless until the nightmares began. "Every night, I dreamt of that idol," Jide whispered. "It felt like it was watching me, calling me." He tried to confront Deity, but the producer laughed and told him it was part of the process. When Jide refused to work with him again, his career fell apart. "It's like I was cursed," he said. Femi listened carefully. He asked Jide if he had any proof, but the man shook his head. "Proof?" Jide scoffed. "Nobody believes me. They only care about his music." Despite the lack of evidence, Femi was convinced there was more to Deity's success than talent. He decided to follow the producer and see for himself. For weeks, Femi trailed Deity. It wasn't easy, the man was always surrounded by bodyguards or fans. But one night, Femi's patience paid off. He saw Deity leave his mansion in a tinted car, heading out of town. Femi followed at a safe distance, his heart pounding. The car stopped at the edge of a forest. Femi watched as Deity got out, carrying a small bag. He followed him into the woods, careful not to make a sound. The air was heavy, and the only light came from a faint glow deeper in the trees. What Femi saw next made his blood run cold. Deity knelt before an altar, muttering words in a language Femi didn't understand. On the altar was the same idol Jide had described. Deity poured a dark liquid over it, then placed a flash drive on the altar. Femi couldn't believe his eyes. He recorded the scene on his phone, his hands shaking. As Deity finished the ritual, the glow faded, and the forest grew eerily quiet. Femi left before he could be spotted. Back in his room, he replayed the footage, his mind racing. He finally had proof. The next day, Femi tried to share the video online, but strange things started happening. His phone froze every time he uploaded it. When he finally managed to post it, the video disappeared within minutes. He received anonymous messages warning him to stop. Femi refused to give up. He went to a local TV station, but they laughed him off. "Do you know how much Deity contributes to this industry?" the producer said. "We are not ruining his reputation over some crazy video." Desperate, Femi organized a public gathering to show the footage to as many people as possible. He stood in the town square, a projector set up, and began his presentation. A crowd gathered, curious about what he had to say. As the video played, gasps filled the air. People whispered to each other, unsure of what they were seeing. But before Femi could finish, a loud voice interrupted him. It was one of Deity's associates. He accused Femi of fabricating the video out of jealousy. "You're just another failed artist trying to bring down a great man," he shouted. The crowd murmured in agreement. Despite the evidence, people refused to believe Femi. They dismissed him as a troublemaker, blinded by their love for Deity's music. Femi stood there, heartbroken, as the crowd dispersed. He realized the truth wasn't enough. Deity's influence was too strong. The people didn't want to see what was right in front of them. From that day, Femi disappeared from the public eye. But he never stopped warning those close to him, "Be careful what you listen to. Not all music is innocent." And though the world refused to believe him, there were whispers. Whispers that grew louder with every hit song Deity released.